on behalf of All India Educators Forum.
Just a minute, yeah, now you can start.
Good evening to all. On behalf of All India Educators Forum, it is my proud privilege to come for this session, because this was a session which so many of you wanted. And actually, I'm surprised at the number, because earlier, when all those calculations were going on and all that, you said that you wanted help and all that. And I had requested Naveen sir, who is really busy. I mean, he has taken out his precious time for this. He is an expert in all this computer and technology. He's a very senior teacher in St. Mark's, and he is also a CBSE resource person, NCERT resource person. And you go through his credentials, I think half the seminar will be over. So I'm not going into the intricate details. His work speaks more than words. So he has been kind enough to support all our ventures of Delhi Teachers Forum, All India Educators Forum. He's been associated with us for, I think, from the very beginning, and he has supported all our technology aspects in organizing webinars and in helping teachers to understand and incorporate this in their daily lives. So I'm really grateful to Naveen sir for sparing his valuable time. He could have used this for family time, or probably he had more commitments, but he said, no, this is something which I will do. And he stuck to his commitment. And I'm glad that today we are having this session on Excel, which I feel is one of the most essential tools that every teacher knows. So thank you, Naveen sir, for sparing your time. And I'm sure the participants will go enriched today with the basics of Excel at least. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So teachers, thank you for joining me for this session. This will be a totally live practical oriented session. And I'm going to share my screen, and I'll be going very slow with each and every option. I'm not in a hurry to give you so many things. I want to give you 10 things, but that 10 things you should apply in your Excel and apply in your real life and in your practical life. So that is my aim for this particular workshop. And after the workshop, maybe you will find out some trouble, so you can give me a WhatsApp. I can be available for you. And thank you everyone. I think people have joined me from, as I have discussed with sir, that people have joined me from Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Rajasthan even. So many states, and one teacher from the Kuwait. She has just sent me a message today morning that I want to join. So thank you everyone for joining me. Now, when I start with Excel, the purpose of Excel itself is a software which can help you to create anything, like whatever we do in so many things, in mark sheets and all. I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir, visible.
Yes, sir, visible.
So this is my screen, which says by default the Excel screen, a normal window screen. By default, I am having sheet 1. I can have a multiple sheets. I'm not going very basics. I'm just taking to the data. How you can enter the data? How can you apply some functionality on the particular data? Let's say I'm making a mark sheet, simple mark sheet. I'm just typing down. And I'll use, I think people know the fill handle option. I'll write here 1, 2, and after writing 1, 2, you will get a fill handle. And this is a symbol of a fill handle. You can see the plus symbol being changed. So there are 2 plus. One is this one, and this is the fill handle. You can just drag it and your list will be there. This option is called as fill handle. You all can carry copy and pen so that you can write. The first option is a fill handle, which you can use it. So the second option is that you want to write a name. I'll just say Amit, Ramesh, Mohit. I'll just enter a few names and then I'll write A, B, C, D. So even I'll write ABC. It will drag. Now, if you have seen sometimes you will see that, let's say we have a stream. The first option, I want this stream should be drop down. Drop down means like I will get a 4 option. Out of 4, I can collect something. So how to add the drop down list to this? I'll just select the portion for which I want a drag and drop. So I'll just select it. Next, I'll go to data menu. I'll go to data menu. This is a data menu. And in data menu, you will get an option here called data validation. The first option I'm explaining you a data validation, wherein I'm telling you how to create the drop-down list in Excel. So I'll click on data validation and then allow. I'll say any value. I'll change any value to list. And when I change list, I can write here, let's say science, or I can write here medical, non-medical, commerce, commerce without maths, comma, I can write here humanities. So I can have a multiple streams. I have just added multiple streams here and I'll say OK. Once I say OK, this will become a drop-down list. If I click here, I can add the option. You can see this become a drop-down list. A spelling is wrong, so I can change here as well. I cannot change this because there. Now, what option apart from this we have in data validation? I'll click once again. I have taken this option and some spelling was wrong, so I can correct. I hope this option is okay with everyone. Now, ignore blank. If somebody leave it blank, should I ignore? Or I can have a input message and error alert. Now, what is an input message? I can write here stream and I can write choose the stream, choose the given stream. This is a message. And error alert. If somebody wants to change from a, like see, busy. Okay. So you can see earlier there was no help with this option. I have written this into the title option. Here is an input message which shows the message with the box, which is cell. With the cell, and if I will start, hello. Ma'am, I have sent a mail to everyone, and the session is already started. So this is an option which you can choose the drop-down list, and if I'll start changing this, it will give me the error. So that is what the data validation is, wherein I can validate the data. And this validation can be done with a numeric value as well. Let's say I'm having a marks, M1, M2, M3, M4, and total. Now I want these marks should be out of 0 to 100. So I can make a data validation on this. I'll just select, I want data validation on this. I'll just say again data validation. Again, I'll say data validation, and I'll write here whole number between 0 to 100. Between 0 to 100. Input message, if you want, you can write error alert. I can write enter error. I can write enter the value between. That's up to you. Whatever the message you want to give, enter the value between 0 to 100. So again, I have placed a data validation. It means if somebody wants to enter something, let's say 34, 56, 78, and somebody wants to enter something, it will give an error. So that is what a data validation is. Now, very simple example, I have taken two options from the data validation. Once you want to validate the data, the entry which user is entering should be absolute matched. And another option is that you can restrict the values between the range of the value. Now, another option is, again, same, I am on the same selection wherein I am entering the value. I just entering the values. If the value is more than that, that will give me the error. I have to change the value. Now, this is what I have done, wherein I have chosen the option called data validation. Now, let's say sometimes you will see that conditional formatting. I am on the home tab. Earlier, I was on the data and text to column. With text to column, there was an option called data validation, the first option. You want to clear, you just say clear the validation. So all the validation will be clear. Sometimes you have placed the condition here. Now you don't want any condition, you can say clear the condition. Now I'm going back to the home tab. On the home tab, we have an option called conditional formatting. I want whatever the value between 0 to 32. I'll write here 0 to 32 should be in red color automatically whenever I enter. So I'll go to custom format. If I want a predefined value, I can choose the various options. Yellow fill with a dark yellow text, green fill with a dark. These are the custom formatting given by the Excel. I can choose custom format. I say bold. I say bolded. Color should be, let's say I want a red color, and I say OK. So, and I say OK. And now if I enter any value between, if it is in the range, otherwise it will be in the, this is called as a conditional formatting, which is usable for us. Even I can write, let's say I am making an attendance wherein I am saying that student attendance for the month 1, 2, 3 for the, I'm taking another example wherein I say he is present. I'm saying by default he is absent, present. Every day he is present, and I can count it how many days he was present. Even I can make it conditional formatting here, that conditional formatting highlight equal to what? A. If it is equal to A, again I say red border. So if you enter any A here, it will automatically, capital A, I'll write here, capital A. Automatically, whenever you write P, it will be in the normal, whenever you write A. So this is a way we can use conditional formatting to highlight the portion of our cells which I want that should be highlighted. For example, you have made a Excel sheet and you want 100 marks, student should be automatically marked. Even I can use it in the total. So this is what the first two options, but one is a data validation, another is a conditional formatting. Let's talk about normal formulas. Now, normal formulas is whenever you need to write a formula, whenever you need to write a formula, you just have to start with equal to. And some formulas are every formula must be referred by the cell reference. Every cell has a reference. Every cell has a reference address. Like this cell is known as H3. This is a H column and third row. So this cell is known as H3. Each cell is referred as a combination of row and a column and a row, I can say. First, always there is a column and the second is a row. So I can say here H3. I want the value should be sum of this. So I'll just click here. I'll say plus. I want another. I'll just click and I'll say plus. I'll click here and I'll say plus. And I'll click here. I'll say plus. So this will total. And when I drag it, automatically it will total all the values. So this is the simplest formula which I am using for calculating the total percentage. Other options are remain same, that how to do the formatting and all. And whenever you enter a value, it will be automatically totaled. So that is what the beauty of the Excel is, that it is automated. Whenever you change some value, it automatically changed. Now, is it okay with everyone? Now let's say
yes, sir.
Percentage. I want to calculate the percentage. Now what formula it will be? Percentage. This is a simple calculation wherein I am calculating the percentage. What is the percentage? Total divided by 5. So I am having total here and divide by 4. It's a 4 subjects. So this is my percentage automatically. But sometimes, as we are in CBSE, we say that should be round up to round up, round down. Those who are from the math background and other people as well, there is a math round up, round down, and round. There are 3 functions in Excel. Round up means, as the CBSE says, if a student got 8.1, that should be considered as 9. Sometimes we say 9. No, 9.5 should be considered as 9. 10 and 9.4 should be considered as 9. So that all functions are available with the Excel. So let's say I want a function called round here. I'll say round. You can see on my screen there are 3 functions: round, round down, round up. Round, round down, round up. Round down means it will go down. Even any value, it will go downside. Sometimes we have to, like in income tax, it always says multiple of tens or multiple somewhere, multiple of 100, some calculation. So that kind of things we can do with this. So I'm explaining round function here. Please write down what we can write. By default, I can write here 0. It means absolutely round 8.5 will be considered as 9 and less than that will be considered as, or I can show you. I'm taking here round function and placing here, because so that you can compare the value of 3. This is a normal round. I'll say round and I'll pass the cell reference. How to get the cell reference? You just click, you will get a cell reference and I say 0. So this 9 is 9 and other you will see 8.5 and 22, all are increased. So let's say we decrease this value to 9 or 8. So now this is 2. So 2.5 is 2. So this is round function. Now round function takes the second, this is called a parameter. The 0 is called as a parameter. You want to leave 2 decimal places, you write it 2. You want to write 3 decimal places, you can write 3. So number of decimal places is the second parameter, wherein I am saying 0 means absolute round up. I'll say 1 means it will leave the decimal place up to 1 place. I think this is the option is required to you people. And let's talk about round down, how the round down function works and how the round up function works. I'll write here equal to, I'll take again set, I'll write equal to and then function round down, and I'll write here cell reference and I'll close it and I'll say round down to 0 place. So you will see that the value will be differentiated. It's 31.8, 31.75 is considered as 31. And if I say round up, automatically it will be on the upper side. Even it is a 0.1, it will calculate as on upper side. So these are the three things for the round function, so which you can use it in normal calculations. Now, sometimes we have to calculate, as in accounts, we say multiple of tens. So what you can do, multiple of 10. So the round function takes multiple of 10. When I say multiple of 10 equal to, I'll use round function and I'll say I'll use round function and I place the parenthesis and I'll use a cell reference and I'll write here -1. -1 means multiple of tens. Automatically it will start multiple of tens. You will see the value changed. All are 0. Wait. And 3. Can you see all the values are in the multiple of tens? This was my original value. And if I've used a -1 as a parameter, it means multiple of 10, -2 means multiple of 100, -3 means multiple of 1000. So sometimes we need this kind of option wherein we just need a absolute round up values. So all these things you can use in your normal way. I hope this option is okay with everyone.
Sir, I have a question here.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, like in our results, sometimes we take it as 21.4. So that is, we want for that 21. And if we have suppose 21.5, then I want for that 22. So in this, we have up and down both. Then how we can do that?
Means, ma'am, you can use normal round function. Normal round function, you say 21 m cell reference comma 0, it automatically 0.5 will be on the upper side and
Okay.
0.5 less than 0.5 will be on the lower side.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay, fine. Okay, thank you, sir.
Round up means 31.1 will be considered as a 32. So that is what the round up function is. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you.
Now, the next is a adjusting row height and column. Let's say these are the very small cells. I want that should be in a particular, and I want it should be done in a single, like normally what we do, we adjust the cell from here. I can increase and decrease from here. What I can do, I can just select all these options and I'll go to format. I'm explaining that home tab, the format option, wherein we have a column width and row width. I can say column width. Let's say I want a column width should be of 3. So you will see automatically all the columns adjusted to the column 3 size. So that is required. Sometimes we want it should be absolute in a way. So I can increase or decrease the row height and column width. Let's say I want to increase the row height. I can say it's right now 14. I can say, let's say 19. So my row height will be changed. This is a format option wherein I can change the row height and column height. Is this option okay with everyone? That how to do that?
Yes, sir.
Now, another option is you want it should be marked to the value of the cell. The column height and width should be adjusted to the value. So what you can do, you can select the complete sheet and you just click, it automatically adjusts it to the size of the data. You just select the complete sheet and place your cursor anywhere in this way, anywhere on this sheet, and you just click, it automatically adjusts to the size of the column and size of, you can see the name size being reduced. Stream is absolutely, otherwise if I say Control Z, you will see the max was not visible, the name size was on a bigger size. So how to adjust? I'll just click and I'll click here, complete sheet will be adjusted to the data size. Is it clear to everyone, this option? I hope this is clear to everyone. Now, each
Yes, sir.
cell is referred by the cell address. You can see each cell is referred by the cell address, and this is a name box. This box where my cursor is called as a name box, wherein each cell name is there. I want to name my selection to some name. I want, whenever I click somewhere, I'm on the, because Excel sheet is very big, I want to go to a particular portion wherein I say go to 10,000 and 20,000 rows. So I can create a name. How to define a name? I'll select here. I can write here name mark sheet. And I say OK. So I am here and I want directly to the, so I'll just click on the name box, my mark sheet will be selected. This is the giving the area a name. The advantage is that the Excel sheet is too big and you want to name some portion, that you can name it. Rather than referring to the individual cells, you can refer to the name. I hope this is clear to everyone. What is the purpose of a name?
Yes, sir.
Now, most important options is referencing. This is absolutely required when you are using formulas called referencing. We have three types of referencing, which is called as absolute referencing, relative referencing, and mixed referencing. So you can write this. Let's say we have a cell called weightage. And I'll write weightage is here. Let's say I'm writing a weightage is here. M1 की weightage है 20%. M2 की है 30%. I'll write this simple 20. Twenty, 30, 40, and let's say let it be 10, 20, and 40. Let's say we have a weightage of M1 is 10%. So I want, if I write a formula that I want 10% of this, I want 10% of this, I'll write multiply and I'll write 10 divide by 100, that is my 10%. So this is my 10%. And if I drag it, you will see that all the values get changed, because when you drag, automatically the complete formula gets changed. You will see that I'm multiplying D3 with P1. And again, I'm multiplying D3 with P2 and nothing is in P2. So in this case, I want my P1 should be fixed. My P1 should be fixed. D3 should be D4. D4 should be D5. But P1 must be same. What I will do? I'll use here dollar symbol. This is called as relative referencing. Normally it is on the absolute referencing, wherein we are referring to the each and every cell. Now I have used here dollar symbol with a P1. Now whatever the value of D will change, that will not reflect it to the P. So that is what called as absolute referencing. Can you see this calculation? I have used P1. D3 is changed to D6, but P1 is remains same. P1 is not changing. So that is what the 10% of the your marks. And now I want a 20%. Again, what I will write? I'll write equal to, I want M2 multiply by dollar Q1. Dollar is the symbol used to dollar Q3. And multiply by 100. Now again you can use round function. Now here you can use round up, round down. Sometimes we say बच्चे को यहाँ पर we have to give the advantage, so you can use round up. यानी कि आप इसके आगे you can use a round up, round down function, so that the student get that. We say as a CBSE is saying that marks should be 40 out of converted to the 10, 20 should be converted to 100, that kind of things. You can use it like this. And you can fix the weightage and then you can do. There is no marks in the M2. I'll enter the marks. Once I enter the marks, the value will be automatically calculated. E3. Q1. And when I say mixed referencing, this is what my changing. Mixed referencing means now this is 20% of the values. Most of the M2s are empty, so it's showing zeros. Is it clear how to get these options? Is the referencing okay with everyone?
Yes, sir.
So sometimes we have to change. Now, another options is lock option. Now I want this should be changed by the user and rest of the values to no one can change. So I can lock the option. How to do that? I'll go to review. I'll say protect my sheet. I'll say I can protect various options that no one can do the sorting, no one can do editing, auto filter. So I can use to protect the sheet on a various way. I can say name N. Okay. And I lock these cells. How to lock? First I have to unprotect. I'll say the password. Let's say I want this lock. This should be only, I'll say select, format cell, protection, I'll say locked. Okay. What I have done, I've just selected the cells. I'll just selected the cells. I'm taking only M4 with data. I want total should not be changed. So I'm taking only 4 data. Format cell, I'm saying protection locked. Okay. Now protect the sheet and say the password N. Okay. Now, no one can change anything on anywhere. You will see no one can write anything except these 4 cells. Can you see? These cells can be changed like CBSE do. They lock the other cells so that no one can type anywhere, so that the format should not be changed. So they do these kind of thing. They make it protected sheet. You can see only these 4 cell I can change, rest I can't change. So this is what the protection to the sheet, that how can I protect the formatting, how can I protect the filtration on the cell. Again, I'm explaining, I have just selected the cell first for which I want to lock. I right clicked on this and went to the format. Because the sheet is already locked, so I'll not get a format cell option here. So first I need to unprotect sheet. So I'll say unprotect and I'll say N is my was my password. Then I say format cell and I say it was locked. I say okay. Now I can write anywhere. Is this option good for you people, that you can create a sheet for the student or create a sheet for the other teachers, that you can create a report card from the Excel file, that you have created a sheet and that will be imported to the mail merge in Word, and you can create your own mark sheet with the Excel file, and all the calculation you can do it. Now let's talk about a filter. Let's talk about a filter, because normal filter everyone knows. I hope everyone knows the normal filter, but I'll add few more things. Here, I'll select the data. It's up to you whether you want to select the data or not. I'll go sort. It will ask me what do you want to sort. I say name. So it will store. It's sorted my data according to the name. But I want, before doing sorting, I want multiple sorting on the data. Because what we do, we want a humanities student should be together, commerce student should be together, science student should be together. So what I can do, I can add a level. I want this should be up. I'll click here. I'm on the up side. I'll say first sort on the basis of stream, then sort on the basis of name. So you will see if there are multiple students on the science, you will see the commerce students are together and they are sorted order. So this is what the multiple sortings, and it means you can sort the data according to the multiple data. Like you can see the commerce is on the upper side, and then humanities and non-medical. So all these multiple sortings you can do by using the option called sorting, and you can use multiple levels. You can have a 10 times, you can use 10 levels of sorting. First do this, second do this, third do this. So these options are available with us for sorting. I hope this option is good.
Yes, sir.
Now, next is a filter. Now filter is, simplest filter is a auto filter. I'll just, on the data menu or a home tab, there is an option called sort and filter. On the home tab, this is, my cursor is sort and filter. You can just click, you can just sort the data, you can say filter. Or on the data menu, you have an option called filter. You can just use a filter. And let's say the total, I want total. Automatically my data gets changed. This is my total column. Now I'll say search for 200. So it will search only for 200. I'll say search for 90. So it will search for 90. So I can write the data, or I can select, I want to see the data of 200 plus. So I can just select the data and show the data. So these are the students who got 200 plus marks. I can choose auto filter, and where my data gets changed on the destination cell only, where my original data is and the destination remains same, that called as auto filter. That called as auto filter. Is it clear?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
this filter option, can you explain again?
Yeah, sure. This is, ma'am, filter is auto filter. Default is an auto filter. What you can do, you can just select the data on which you want a filter. Automatically, it will add a drop down to the particular column. You have a column with your Excel sheet, so you just select the data and you just click on the filter button. It automatically gives you drop down list. Can you see the drop down?
Yes, sir.
You can write here number filter. See, you
Okay.
can write here different filters. You want a top 10, it will show you the top 10 values. These are the top 10 students. So you have a number filter wherein you want a between. You say, I want 150 to 200. Show me the value. It will show me the value between this. And you have a simple Is it clear? Now you have filter like this, wherein you can just check boxes. These are called check boxes. You can just say, I want to see this. So it will show you this. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Now it's clear. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Now this is called as an auto filter. This is called as auto filter. Now you have an advanced filter as well. Now what is an advanced filter? Wherein the original data will be on the same and you have a filtered data on somewhere else. Now how can you do the advanced filter? I'll write the condition here. Total should be greater than 200. I'm writing the condition here, greater than equal to 200. Total should be greater than 200. And I'll make a column. I want my data, Control C. I want a data should be on the sheet 2. Filtered data should be on the sheet 2. Now, what I will do, I'll just off this filter. I'll select this data. I'll select this data and I'll click on Advanced. It asks me 3 options. Filter the list in this place. You want the data should be changed to on the original place, or you want to copy on the another. I'll say copy. List range, the data I have already selected, the cell addresses are already there. I want criteria. What was my criteria? This is my criteria. This is my criteria. And where I want to copy? I want to copy here. I'll select this range. And I'll say OK. Just wait. It's giving a problem because there are multiple formulas are written here. we are copying to the other sheet, you can see the data is being copied on this sheet. Is it clear to everyone? Advanced filter?
Sir, I have one query.
Yeah.
In the criteria range, do we have to mention the cell number, or we can type directly greater than equal to 200?
You can directly type or you can write the cell.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
It's up to you what you want to write.
Okay.
I hope advanced filter, auto filter is okay with you.
Yes, sir.
Now, as we required like number of student in what range, as the CBSE says, count the number of student in particular range. So there are multiple functions, or even we have a uppercase, lowercase functions. So I am just explaining you the COUNTIF function. First is the count function, which count all the value. I'm using a function called count, or I'll use this. I'm using here. I'll say count will count the total number of values. It will not count the default null values. Null means blank. It is not counting the blank value. It is just counting the numeric value. Is it clear? The first function is a count function which counts the particular value. And you have a function here as well on the status bar, the last bar of before the task bar. You have an option called status bar. This where my cursor is lying. This is called as a status bar. You can see average is written here, count is written here, number of numerical count is there, minimum is 34, sum is this. You can change this option. You just right click on this. You will see there are functions on which I have a tick. So by default, my status bar show me all these options. So this is right click, and whatever you want to off or on, these all buttons are here. You can just say on, off, and these are the status bar. So you have some statistical function on your status bar as well. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Now, another function is a COUNTIF function. COUNTIF means count only when the value, count will count the normal. I'll write here count if. Count if, let's say I want less than 40, how many students? So I'll say count if, and I'll write here condition less than 40. I just used count if, cell range, and then less than 50. So the 4 students are less than 4, less than 40. Now I want a range that 50 to 60, how many students? So I'll write here, you just have to write all these formula once, and you can copy the formulas. Count if s. There is another function called count if s, wherein we have a multiple condition. The function is a count if s, wherein we have a multiple conditions. Now I'll just place the parenthesis, select the range, place the comma, add the value, say greater than 50, comma, again cell range, comma, less than 60. So this is a way that we can calculate between the values. So this is less than 40, this is 50 to 60. Same way you can write the formula and you can just drag it. It will automatically work for here as well. So you just have to write the formula once. You can see automatically it is working on M2, M3, M4. I hope this is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is what we have. All you should know how to do this. Now, this is one of the Excel sheet which I want to share with you. That this sheet we have created for class 10th, wherein this was automated. You just have to enter the value as a reference year here, reference year percentages, and automatically the actual and allowed student will be there. So all these sheets were used a formula COUNT-FS, normal formulas, so that you can automatically get all the result. And we can place the various filters on this to calculate exactly how many students are in which range. So this kind of work which we can do with a Excel. I hope this is clear to everyone. I think this much is sufficient for you all. We'll stop here only. I hope this much is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Yes, sir.
And we are hope to see you soon again.
Thank you so much, sir.
You just have to fill the feedback form to get the certificate. So I'm just sharing the link for the feedback form, and you fill the feedback form and get the certificate.
Sure, sir.
Sir, will you be sharing the recording with us? Because एक बार करके तो हमें याद नहीं रहेगा. But
Yes, sir, we want to.
Sure, ma'am. I'll place on my YouTube channel. You can just go through with the on YouTube channel.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Please share the link also of the YouTube channel so that when we do practice, we need this.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm just stopping the recording and then we'll discuss.